The big news today coming out of Auburn, Alabama, as Bruce Pearl has officially called it quits. His son, Stephen Pearl, set to become the next head basketball coach. What does it mean for the Tigers? Just over a month away from tip-off, and maybe more importantly, what does it mean for the future of the program as a whole? Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. As always, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are inching ever so close to 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we cannot do it, of course, without your love and support. Also, guys, check out our friends over at FanDuel, because we are presented to you by FanDuel. FanDuel.com/SECU is the place to go to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU to get in on the action today. Bruce Pearl has officially retired. It felt like this news came out of nowhere. Obviously, like many of you out there, I am in full-on football mode. We're gearing up for week 5 of the college football season. And this is about the time over the next couple weeks we'll start to talk about some college basketball and look ahead of the season. It's only 42 days away or so from this very date, but we got a bombshell today. And I think for those on the local beat, those connected to the program down on the plains, talking to them, it seems as if maybe they knew this was coming over the last week or so. But for most of us, this obviously took us by surprise, as Bruce Pearl, after 11 years at Auburn, is officially hanging it up. And I think what's understood is the greatest run in program history there at Auburn, no doubt. What he did with that program, creating Neville Arena, obviously is the toughest place to play in all of college basketball, making them a mainstay in the NCAA tournament. And it kind of feels like it just came out of nowhere. Again, I'm not nearly as plugged into the Auburn basketball program or really into Auburn like that, where I would have known. We don't have an ear on the ground, boots on the ground, what have you. But again, talking to a couple of my Auburn contacts, a couple of Auburn buddies right before jumping on air, it does sound like this is something that they felt like was coming. Now, many folks immediately are going to jump out and say he wants to get into politics, he wants to run for Senate, what have you. We know that Bruce Pearl, throughout his career, a very outspoken guy, very outspoken figure. Whether you agree with him, disagree with him, I am not here to talk about that, but he did shoot down those allegations. He did shoot down those rumors that he is doing this to jump into politics. He's actually going to stay involved with the program, per the reports. Says, quote, he will move into an ambassador's role in the athletic department as special assistant to the athletics director. Now, I mean, what does it mean for Auburn? I mean, guys, you got to think there's going to be a roster shakeup, right? We're 42 days away from tip-off. Players have 30 days to enter the transfer portal. You've already seen Chad Baker-Mazara go on social media and say, hey, I kind of told you so. This is why I left. Although, of course, Auburn fans want no part of that. They want nothing to hear from CBM. I'm really intrigued to see what this means for the program. Basketball in the state of Alabama has taken such a step forward with Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates, and now his son Stephen Pearl is taking over. Guys, listen, I understand. And what a luxury, what a position to be in. This is why you work so hard as a father, to put yourself in a position of where, hey, I can give my son this kind of opportunity. I can step down and I can hand him a job. I think that's what we're seeing in Chapel Hill in football with Bill Belichick and his son. He's probably going to try to hand off that head coaching job to him. I am not saying that Stephen Pearl isn't going to do a good job. My only question is, where is the laundry list of credentials that makes him qualified for this job outside of being Bruce Pearl's son? Now, granted, that might be a very good thing. He's got a mentor in his father who's one of the best in the business. Guy's going to be a college basketball Hall of Famer, going to be in the Naismith, I would imagine. But I just, it doesn't feel like it is. It's a lazy hire. It is a very, very lazy hire. Like, let's call it for what it is. You know, and I understand that Bruce Pearl sort of crafted this thing to where he's handing it off. But I don't know how much gray area there's going to be, guys. It's probably going to go one of two ways. They're probably either going to keep winning, or it is going to implode and it is going to blow up, and it's going to be like a 2-year thing, maybe 3. They gave him a 5-year contract. and they're going to be looking for a new head coach, and they're going to actually try to go out and get somebody who is qualified to be the head coach at Auburn. Now, again, I'm not trying to knock the guy before he ever gets going. Like, I have no issues with Stephen Pearl, but, I mean, again, his experience is very just – he got the job at Auburn because of his dad. He was working in, like, medical device sales beforehand. He hasn't ever been in a position – listen, there's a difference when you are sitting in that chair as the head guy and you don't have Pops to bail you out anymore. You don't have Pops calling the shot, and you're just kind of there, hanging out around him, whatever. It's going to be different. I am fascinated by this. I really am, because, again, Auburn has become a mainstay in this thing. Certainly, I mean, look at last year at the Final Four, obviously. I mean, look at that game with Florida and Auburn. I mean, it's that you were right there on the verge of winning a national championship. This has become one of the best programs in college basketball, best home field atmosphere in all of college basketball. I mean, I am fascinated by this. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts. Auburn faithful out there, am I being too harsh on him? What are your thoughts on Bruce Pearl retiring? The timing just feels very odd to me. 42 days away from tip-off. Like, you couldn't have done this over the summer? You couldn't have done this a few months ago? Like why now? Why is the timing right now when it comes to this? That's what I'm having kind of a hard time understanding. So, I think what we don't know is what we don't know, guys. I mean, I think the reaction's simply this. All we can do is wait and see what Stephen Pearl is going to be. If you're an Auburn fan, you shower Bruce Pearl with thanks because he has completely changed Auburn basketball. I mean, there is no doubt, right? The level, I mean, you look at a place like Auburn, and I don't want to speak for the Auburn fan base, but I'd say the same thing about Alabama. I don't think innately those schools love college basketball. But both Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates, I know we're not talking about Bama, but let's just talk Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl brought a new level of intensity and energy and emotion and passion and love for the game of basketball. That's what Bruce Pearl did at Auburn. One man changed that culture. One man changed the on-court result. One man did that, and it was Bruce Pearl. And you got to give him tons of credit. Again, he wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Obviously, there were things that he said some people didn't agree with, whatever, but he was one of the mainstays of the league. I mean, you go back to his time, obviously, at Tennessee and what he did there. He was a mainstay, a main figure in this conference. And, it's a shame to lose him. One of the most fun coaches, obviously, in college basketball to watch. So how Stephen Pearl does is going to be really, really interesting. What the roster shakeup, what the aftermath of this looks like is going to be really interesting. And the timing is, I think, truly what makes this really, really interesting. So, what does it mean for Auburn basketball moving forward? All I know is this. Hey, you're giving Stephen Pearl the opportunity. He's Bruce Pearl's son. That's how Bruce wanted it. You have to honor his wishes. I think there will be a short leash on Stephen Pearl, though. I really do. I think there will be a short leash on Stephen Pearl. I think it is because this Auburn program has reached a point where not winning is not acceptable. It's just not. And I'm not saying Auburn's going to fall off a cliff, but I think if there's signs of there being cracks in the armor, if you will, I would expect Auburn to move pretty quickly. I mean, once again, you gave him a 5-year contract. I think you're probably reevaluating after the first 3. Maybe after the first 2 if things go poorly enough. Not saying they will, but you just don't know what you don't know. Guys never coached a basketball game as a head coach. Stephen Pearl has never been a head coach. Again, been around his father, got a great pedigree. He's been on staff the entire time Bruce was on staff. He was an associate head coach the past 2 seasons. Again, he's the 22nd head coach in program history. That's the extent of his coaching career, though. That's it. That's the extent. Can he win without his father? Can he win without his father? That's the big question. That's the big question. So, Very, very interesting. A bombshell ahead of the college basketball season. Bruce Pearl stepping down. Stephen Pearl, his son, is officially in. Guys, I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts, your reactions to it. What do you think about Bruce Pearl hanging it up? What do you think about his son, Stephen Pearl, being the next head coach of the Auburn Tigers? Love the move, hate the move. Would love to hear from you. Guys, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Before we get out of here, I do want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel, because as always, we're brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Guys, FanDuel.com/SECU. FanDuel is getting you ready for the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5. If it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style. FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season's almost here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/SECU to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU to get in on the action today. Guys, once again, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Like I mentioned earlier, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're inching ever so close to 25,000 subscribers on YouTube. We can't do it without your love and support, obviously, as we try to continue to reach our goals. Also, follow along on social media. Check us out wherever you get podcasts. Of course, our website, secunfiltered.com. And stay tuned to all of the new things we're rolling out on a daily basis. Guys, once again, appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your night. We will talk to you all on the other side.